Minister Lecce. As mentioned, we also have MPP Ray here today. He's PA to the, as you all know, Minister of Education. And we also have Minister Charmaine Williams here this afternoon.
Thanks, Shannon. It's great that you all are here today and appreciate you waiting for us to jump on. It's, again, as you can imagine, a busy time for the Minister and Minister Williams and myself. And we're looking forward to chatting with you as always. And I'll turn it over to the Minister now.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me at this roundtable. It's good to see you all. I am Charmaine Williams, the MPP for Brampton Centre and the Associate Minister for Women, Social and Economic Opportunities in Ontario. I do want to start by thanking Minister Lecce for his steadfast dedication to trying to reach an agreement with QP. And thank you to PA Matthew Ray as well. And also, I know PA Barnes has been very active as well. Thank you so much, because as a mother of 5 children, 4 of whom are currently in Ontario's education system as we speak, I know firsthand how important it is for our children to be in school. And throughout these negotiations, our government's focus has always been keeping kids in class without disruption. This tentative agreement is not a win for governments or education unions. It's a win for Ontario families who finally have peace of mind knowing their children will remain in the classroom. So I share the excitement that this brings to Ontario families in communities across the province, and I look forward to this discussion. So thanks again for having me.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much, Charmaine. Thank you, Matt, Shannon, and thank you all for being with us. It's good to see you. I want to give a special shout out to Charmaine, who's been a strong, relentless advocate for children to be in school. And I know for Matt, Patrice, and I, we share that conviction. And given her portfolios in the area of enriching the lives of children and women, this is top of mind for all of us. And so I want to recognize the leadership of our entire team and also thank families for their relentless commitment to caring for their kids through some extraordinary difficulty. And so it's wonderful to see them back at school. We committed to that we do everything humanly possible to get kids back into school. Very proud that we've delivered a deal that delivers stability, that keeps kids in class and that they're learning. It is a fair deal for all parties, but as was rightfully mentioned, it is a material win for kids who today are smiling within our schools, learning, playing, exchanging, and I think demonstrating what public education is all about, which is building up the leaders of tomorrow by keeping them in class today. So thank you for the opportunity, and I think let's dig into the question, Shannon. I know we're trying to try not to be repetitive to the extent possible, just to save us all some time. But and I'll say just to Charmaine and Matt, if there's any thoughts, anything you'd like to build on, just pop in there. No formality. We're like we've done so many media interviews with these folks. I see them more than my own family, so we're comfortable keeping it casual today.
I think this is the 3rd one I've seen them this week. So yeah, they're probably gonna be sick of me soon.
Alrighty. Thank you for the question. I thought I was having deja vu. I'm like, I think I've been through that question with you, Nuno. So okay, so it's a fair question. Obviously, we are committed to doing everything possible to keep kids in class. We demonstrated that willingness and determination at the negotiating table. We never left the table. We always committed ourselves to providing a deal that respects the lowest paid workers. Part of this proposal will see a 4.2% increase for the lowest paid worker every year over the course of the mandate. This is fair, especially when you consider the pensions and benefits and sick leave that are being protected for these workers, which many people in the private economy do not have. So with that said, we're really pleased all parties came together over the weekend and put kids first. That's been our government's position. Our premier, all of us are committed to keeping the kids in a classroom that is stable right to June without interruption. We are going to respect the process of ratification of the union. We look forward to it being ratified so that we can move forward and really look forward so that kids could catch up. Kids could get back to being kids with clubs and sports, extracurriculars, and the province's significant tutoring expansion, which is really helping these kids strengthen learning with a focus on reading, writing, and math. So we know that the union is working through that process. We have confidence they will do so. I look forward to receiving the vote and frankly signing the deal, allowing us to move forward and put this behind us, and let kids look forward to learning and frankly healing from the past few years of this pandemic.
Okay, perfect. Next, I am going to go to Bala Menon with the Weekly Voice of VNN Canada.
Good afternoon, Minister Lecce. Nice to see you. My question is very simple.
Thank you.
Will this agreement with QPE encourage other unions to exert pressure on or arm twist the government with unreasonable demands? How will you handle this?
Thank you. I think, the government we just got elected on a mandate from the people of Ontario, a strengthened mandate and a majority mandate to stand up for taxpayers and for families and for common sense. We respect our workers. They play critical roles within our schools, our hospitals, right across our society. But we also have a job to do to make sure that it is sustainable, it is affordable, it is fair. And so our government is very much committed to doing what's right. And we thought the right thing to do was to lead with our heart, demonstrate compassion for the lowest paid workers, but also some strength and conviction in our bottom line, which is kids have to be in class. And I think we demonstrated we will literally use every tool possible to keep them in class. And I think that it really reflects the values of parents in every region of Ontario who just simply say, look, whatever it takes, my kid's got to be in school. They've been out of class for too long. And I think that's the spirit of our negotiating strategy. It's stability for the work, for the family, and it's respect for our work. Stable and enjoyable experience in return to class. I'm very proud that sports are back. Competitive sports are back, and recreational sports are also back within our schools. We increased the funding specifically for organizations including Cricket Canada and great partnerships with various communities to strengthen sport activity and physical activity. Too many kids stayed at home and didn't do much over the pandemic. It's not their fault, but we have a huge opportunity to get them moving and obviously to get them to stay as healthy as possible. I think there's a clear connection between the physical, mental, and academic success of students. It's why we said there's got to be sports and clubs and extracurriculars back, and they are back this school year. And we'll continue to invest. I mean, we put a significant amount of funding in infrastructure for community-based recreation, community center expansion, rec expansion, both in our schools and within our communities. On the Oakville situation, I think I'll say just 2 points. The first is I am disappointed in the school board's handling of the situation. It shouldn't have gotten to that. We need to put our kids first, and we need to respect that these are professional workplaces and that the highest levels of professional conduct must always prevail. And so I committed to working with partners to impose stronger measures to really step up the professionalism, the conduct, and the actions of our educators who really have to lead by example. They are, by their very nature, people who a lot of kids look up to. So I need them to always set the highest standards within our schools. And so while I express disappointment of the school board, I assure you that the Ministry of Education is working diligently to impose strong action and measures, working with Matt Ray, Patrice Barnes, and others, so that really parents have confidence that the adults in the room, in our schools, uphold the highest standards of decency, professionalism, and respect. And I think that's how a lot of people feel. And it shouldn't have gone to this point, but be assured that the province will step in where school boards won't. We will take action as necessary, appreciating that we want to ensure that schools remain a very safe place for people of all different experiences, and we celebrate those differences within our schools, but we also insist upon a high standard of professionalism. We are prepared for all eventualities. I think with respect to the teacher negotiations, the next step, we're going to continue to stay at the table, work hard to get deals as quickly as possible that keep kids in the classroom, that allow these kids to get back on track with their academics. That is what matters most. And these kids need to be in school. I mean, yes, of course, Ontario had the foresight to build a virtual learning system that allowed us to pivot. And that is there. We're one of the only provinces and jurisdictions in the country that has that capability. We trained our teachers. We have 100,000 more iPads for kids from lower income families that need it. We've really stepped it up. That's great. But I think we all know that our government believes that kids are best in the classroom. And I think it's critical that they stay there right to June without interruption. They've had enough of this. We've had enough of this as a society, as parents. So we're going to work hard, respect our teachers. They do wonderful work within our schools. I'm sure we could all name a teacher in our lives that has impacted us in a profound way. I want more of those good educators to continue to rise and frankly, to grow within our leadership roles. And I want to reward the best. That's why we revoked Regulation 274 that, as you know, we in Ontario under the Liberals used to hire based on union seniority, not based on their qualification, not based on their experience, their diversity. Preposterous. That means the teacher in front of your kid who often wasn't the best according to their qualification, is just the oldest or the one who'd been in the union the longest. I don't know any business where you get ahead just based on years on earth. You get ahead by producing, by creating outcomes, by impacting people. The measurement of our success is student achievement. So we've changed it to a meritocracy. I think that's a common sense conviction. I think parents, frankly, were shocked when they heard that wasn't the case. So we're on it. We know there's more to do, but I'm going to throw it over to Charmaine. Maybe. In the meantime, I'll just say, it's been a long road. It's been an intensive past few weeks and months, but we are absolutely committed to focusing on delivering deals for your kids, no matter what the amount of time or the intensity or difficulty. We're going to do what's right. We're always going to be guided by the priorities of parents, which is keep my kids in class, let them catch up, let them get back to more normal schools, let them have clubs and sports, let them be with their friends in front of their educators. And that's exactly what has guided us. It's what we delivered for families. And I want to thank all the partners that allowed us to get here at the table. And of course, welcome the ratification process that will come to a close in short order. What I also will tell you is that my brother and his wife have 3 kids, 2 within our Catholic publicly funded school system. One's too young, who's in childcare. And my brother's wife and brother said to me that if I didn't get a deal on Sunday, that they were going to drop off the kids at my house. So I had a lot of skin in the game to get this deal done. And I'm sure hundreds of thousands of other parents were thinking the same. So just know that, this is personal for all of us. Charmaine speaks as a parent, I speak as an uncle. Matt and I, Patrice, we all have a similar conviction that we just want the best for kids. They're our neighbors, they're our family, they're our friends. And as was mentioned by Charmaine, they're literally the next generation of our thinkers, entrepreneurs, our leaders in our country, our economy. And we just want them to succeed. And so we're going to continue to increase investments within our school system, $650 million more dollars this school year than compared to last year, 7,000 more staff since we came to office in 2018, 1,000 more teachers. And we're going to go even further. We're going to continue to make life better for kids, give them a quality education that leads them to a good paying job. That's our mission. So really appreciate all of you. And big shout out to Charmaine, Matt, and the entire team who's just been amazing in supporting our work and frankly, working together in the interest of children.